G'day folks, and welcome to the thrilling conclusion of our three-part epic. In parts 1 and 2, we looked in depth at what it takes to adapt to a new partner in the opening and kitchen phases of the game. Today, however, we're going to learn how to handle playing alongside some specialty players. We've all seen them. Heck, maybe you were one. They're out there and they can't be ignored. Bangers exist for one very good reason. There are a lot of ways to win, and blunt force trauma is one. They're often a simple species and would likely use a club if you let them. To play well with a notorious banger means firstly getting your position set. A banger's best chance to be effective is in the opening phase of the game. Serving big and driving third balls. Your role is to help capitalize on these weapons, so if the return comes short towards you, take the gloves off and drive the ball. If your partner looks to drive, then disconnect early and attempt to shake and bake your way to the win. Having your banger play on the left when your team is on serve is an effective strategy, but be careful about keeping them there when returning. The left side player on return often takes a lot of fourth balls, and a banger can easily be over-aggressive and cost you some quick points. When the kitchen game transpires, don't expect them to wait long to attack. There's no such thing as a patient banger, so your job is to watch their swing length intently and assume they're likely to attack any given ball. Stand close enough to them to help clamp the middle, because the pace of their attack will often cause late contact from your opponents, which means the ball will be redirected your way. A lobber exists in a world of cruel and unusual punishment. Raised by gypsies, these people relish any chance to make another human run backwards. To play well with one means firstly understanding which kind of lobber they are. A type A lobber is someone who uses the lob as a bailout when they're in trouble. A type B lobber, on the other hand, is someone who uses the lob as a tactical strategy. If you're lucky, your partner is type B, but regardless, playing with either poses some unique challenges. A lover of the lobs needs to be in the most advantageous lob position. Against two right-handed players, that means putting them on the right side, as their lob can quickly get over the dangerous forehand side of their heads-up opponent, and then over the backhand side of their cross-court opponent. They'll also have the luxury of using the most distance available on the court, maximizing their chance to avoid an overhead smash coming back. With positioning sorted, let's talk now about the time the lob leaves your partner's paddle. At that moment, neither of you actually knows if it's going to be a successful lob or not. So what's a player to do? Firstly, prepare for the worst and clamp the middle. Much like most attacks, an overhead smash is usually down the middle, so being there already stops you from having to suddenly get there. Your instinct will often be to retreat. Try your best to avoid doing so, as it'll give your opponents an even greater chance of getting the ball down to your feet. You're better off dropping your body height and getting your paddle up and open. The particular downward trajectory of an overhead smash makes getting that reaction volley all the more tricky, so having that paddle extra open already will come in handy. If the lob is successful, take a moment to rejoice. You're now in fourth ball mode once again. One or both of your opponents will likely have retreated to handle the lob, and if they're smart, then they'll attempt to reset the point by dropping the ball back in the kitchen. With you being on the left side, look to be aggressive with your forehand and target the feet of whichever player is further back. The never-ending dinker is the antithesis of the banger. They were born patiently, and given their lineage, often in the 5th trimester. This player has never seen an attackable ball they can't dink back gently, and as such, it's often a great source of frustration for the would-be partner. There are two types of never-ending dinker, and like the lobber, you need to understand which one they are in order to complement their game well. A type A dinker continues to dink, usually cross-court, because it's the safest play. They don't like attacking because they fear their volleys can't handle the counter-attack. A type B dinker sees their dink as a real weapon and wants to grind down their opponents with relentless consistency. If you're lucky enough to partner with a type B dinker, then firstly wait to see whether or not it's a successful strategy. Even though you will look on in dismay when they don't attack certain balls, they may just surprise you. And remember, they've been doing this their entire career. so they're likely well conditioned to play the long game. If your Type B dinker is being unsuccessful, however, or if you've got a Type A on your hands, then it's time to take matters into your own hands and employ a strategy that gets you more balls and your partner less. Consider stacking to get you on the left side and go for some extra power on the serve to award you some third shot drive opportunities. You'll need to follow up your drive to have a chance to knock off that next volley, so be sure to be moving forward as you play the shot. When returning, think about the placement needed to give you the best chance to play the fourth ball also. Usually cross-court from yourself is a safe bet to attract the fourth, but to stack the scales even more in your favor, then you'll need to be more aggressive with power and or spin. If you haven't managed to end the point in the first phase, then you'll find yourself at the kitchen, watching your partner dink. Now your job is to be as menacing as possible. Dance across that kitchen line in the hopes of either getting a ball to poach, or at the very least, making your opponent's safe target area as small as possible. You'll know when you've gone too far when you get burnt down the line. At that point, you may just be able to use that to create the high-risk, high-reward bait ball. Give up plenty of space on your sideline and wait for them to take that bait before you pounce. For safety's sake, try this on serve so you don't risk losing a point. The important theme here is to be effective with a very passive player, you'll need to be more aggressive. Today's lesson concludes our 3-part series on how to adapt to a new partner. It's not going to happen in the space of one game or even a match, but please think about your long-term development when choosing who you play pickleball with. If you only choose to stay with one partner, then you'll only develop a select number of shots. Playing with someone new isn't comfortable, but as they say, the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there.